Thank you, Scott. Good evening, everyone. Tonight I welcome you all here as we gather to celebrate the culmination of the 2016-2017 ice hockey season and the end to our seniors' journey in the Lakeland Ice Hockey program. Before I begin, I ask that all family, friends, supporters of the program here in attendance tonight, please do me a favor. I ask that you all please stand and join me in a round of applause to let these great young men know just how proud of them we are for the season they just had. What you saw this year is what happens when selflessness replaces selfishness, when accepting your role and doing your job is all that mattered, and what happens when a group of young men collectively come to the realization that the sum of all parts combined can achieve far greater results than any one individual effort could ever come close to achieving. There were no egos on the 2016-2017 Lakeland Ice Hockey team. And man, was it fun to watch and fun to be a part of. We may not have won a state championship this season, but it really seemed like there were a lot of championship nights along the way. There were so many great nights. So many times where I was just so proud as I left the rink to be the head coach of this program. I'll start with the night we beat Glen Rock, the eventual state champion. Coming off a tough loss to Indian Hills on opening night, that was where I first saw the character that this team had. They just weren't going to accept being 0-2. That just wasn't something that these guys were interested in letting happen. And I could tell the minute I stepped into the locker room that day. They didn't care if our opponent was the best public school in the state. These guys weren't going to lose. They weren't going to let it happen. Carl made saves he shouldn't have made. Jimmy Stanton had a huge goal when we went down 1-0. Off a shot blocked by Braden Maherter. And Andrew Heck gave us an early taste of the dominant performances we'd become accustomed to seeing on a nightly basis throughout the season. It was such a great feeling after that game. And little did I know it at the time, but it was only the beginning of a season that I was never going to forget. We struggled the next weekend, tying a Mahwah team that was missing a lot of its best players. But the real killer was our first Passaic County loss since December 23rd, 2014, in a game against Wayne Valley where they only got 7 shots. We were having trouble scoring, but the funny thing is, that was the best thing that ever happened to this team all season. It's the night that we created the bond between players and coaches, the bond between players and players, and a bond that only became stronger as the season went on. There was no negativity that night, no blaming. We took it on the chin, but we took it together. And it made us the team that we became as the season went on. Remember, most outside our program thought we weren't going to be as good this year. That's all I heard over the summer. You know, the general consensus was that Lakeland's best year was behind them. You know, they'll be good enough to just make states. That was the collective prediction. It would have been easy to let the doubt creep in at that moment, to question if we were really capable of having another great season, if we were that good of a team. But what the people doubted, what they didn't understand, was the character of the kids that I had in my locker room. And in the next few weeks, they were going to start to begin to find out. The West Milford game was up next, as usual, was hyped up all week. Crowd was big, out in full force. And while it was too early in the season to call it a true must-win, it was a must-win game. So there we were, 1-2-1, in the locker room after the second period, down 1-0, 15 minutes away from staring 1-3-1 in the face, and 2 Passaic County losses already on our resume. I still remember being in the locker room on ring 3, locker 11. It's funny how you remember those things like that. I can almost feel the adrenaline all over again as I talk about it right now. I remember the speech. It was one of the few times I got emotional this year. And I asked the guys who was going to put us on their backs, who was going to find a way to keep us from being 1-3-1, who was going to step up and not let this happen. 2 Dan Martin goals later, a heck empty netter, and we turned the season around in that moment. And I look back at it as the most important win of the season. A rivalry night went on top of it. Another great night, and another memory that I'll never forget. We went on to win 4 more games in a row, heading into the holiday tournament, sitting at 6-2-1. We were given one of the hardest schedules of any public school in that tournament. Summit, Northern Highlands, and Morris Knolls. Summit ended up being the number 8 seed in Public B, Northern Highlands the number 2 in Public B, Morris Knolls the number 1 in Public A. I knew we were going to get tested, and I knew we were going to find out where we stood. Either we would show we were a state contender again, or we were going to find out that we still had some work to do to get back to that level. I was prepared for either outcome. But after the wins over Summit and Northern Highlands, to start the tournament, I knew we were going to be in for another potential state run this year. And the momentum of our season was really starting to shift in the right direction. Even sitting there, tied 0-0, going into the third against Morris Knolls, I knew the potential we had. And even though we lost that game, I was so proud of how we played over the course of those 4 days. You know, it's that holiday season, you know, you're off for the holidays, you're around your friends, you're around your family, and, you know, getting to go through that tournament the way we did with all these guys over the holidays, that was special. It was really special to me, and I thank everybody for the way we performed during that stretch. After the holidays, we decided to give a tribute to Miss Salker during our game against Ramsey. It was a tough night. It was a tough night to get through, as Miss Salker meant so much to our program, long before I even showed up here at Lakeland. You know, she touched so many lives, and she had such an impact on so many different people. And me personally, you know, she became such a great friend in the short time that I was, you know, lucky enough to know her. I remember reading the article in the Suburban Trends the night of the game during school, and it was hard to fight back, you know, the tears. You know, I thought the reporter did an excellent job of just capturing what she meant to the town, what she meant to the community, what she meant to all the players. That, along with John's speech, you know, seeing Helene's son there, just seeing all the people who came out that night, I mean, that's what this is all about, quite frankly. And it really warmed my heart. I don't think I've ever wanted to win a game more in my entire coaching career than that night. Sure enough, we did. And we put the finishing touches on such a great night. Another night that made me so proud of our program. A night that was just as good as I imagined winning a state championship would be like. That night I really fell in love with this team. The next weekend we headed into counties on a quest for a three-peat. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, and of course it wasn't. But we played one of our best games of the season against Clifton. A much improved team with a great goalie. Couldn't stop my kids. We became the first school to ever win the tournament 3 years in a row. To me, that really says something about the consistency we've shown over the last 3 seasons. It's never easy to win games like that, with the pressure on, and do-or-die situations. That's why no other school has ever done what we accomplished. I remember the reporter asked me how we do this every year, when nobody else can after the game. And I told him that I consider myself the luckiest coach in the state of New Jersey, because I get to work with the kids that I get to work with every day. That's all I could think about. How lucky I was to get to go on these rides that these kids take me on every year. Once again, another moment, another memory that I'll never forget. Over the rest of this season, we continued to have a great time being around each other and continued to play at a really high level. We beat a really good Mahwah team 4-0 in a game right after counties that we easily could have had a letdown and not have been focused. Instead, we played a great game. We also played another tight game against Glen Rock a week later, and that showed once again that we could play with any team in the state, no matter how good they were. We finished the regular season at a record of 15-5-2. Qualified for the Big North Gold Cup tournament and the state tournament again for the 4th consecutive year. I'm so proud of what this team accomplished, and most importantly, how we got there. On the first day of the season, I made a prediction to the team. I told them we were going to lose more games than we did last year, and I said it was going to make us better. I said I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day we wound up making it to the exact same spot in states. This time we're prepared from what we went through the year before and the losses that we went through this year. Like I said already, the outsiders didn't see how we could be that good again. But I knew we were going to surprise people. I told the boys I could see us being the 6th seed and playing the 3 seed again in the quarterfinals. Where last year we were the 3 seed playing the 6 seed, I told them this year we would be the 6 seed and upset the 3 seed. You can only imagine how I felt the morning they released the seeds and we were slotted at number 6. We know tonight that upset didn't happen. But I was so proud of how we played that night against Middletown South. They were good. They were really good. They were fast. Probably the fastest team we played all year. We got off to a tough start. But what I was most proud about is the fact that nobody quit. Most teams would have gotten blown out of the arena that night, let's be real. Not us. Everything I've told you already about the team tonight, that's why that didn't happen. And I think it's pretty safe to say my kids weren't going to go down without a fight. We made some adjustments. I actually thought we dominated the second period. The killer of that game was really not getting a goal in the second period and having to chase the 2-0 deficit so early while still trying to play defensive-minded and control their speed. We never lost faith though. And I always thought we were still going to win. When Dan Martin scored early in the third, I thought even more that this was going to happen, that this was meant to be. But the equalizer never materialized, and ultimately it wasn't. I remember I called you all over during the timeout with 1 minute left. And I told you how much I love you and how proud of you I was. And I asked you to do one more thing for me as your head coach. And that was to play the final minute as hard as you could and go out like the champions that you are. And that is exactly what you did. Classy, all the way to the end. The ref after the game told me how much respect he had for the program, for the team, because of how we handled ourselves when in those situations most kids on other teams get frustrated and start taking cheap shots. That meant more to me than anything. I stand before you tonight, a humbled coach, who is so happy that he got to be a part of such a great season. Like I said, we didn't win it all, But I learned this year that you can't define the success of a season in state championships, or you'll never be happy. And you'll miss out on recognizing a lot of great seasons along the way. Success is measured in the memories made and how much we got to enjoy the time that we spent with each other. This team loved being around each other, and it showed in how we played. To me, that's success in itself. And when you look at it like that, this season was just as good as any season I could have ever imagined. To the Lakeland High School administration, especially to Mr. Yost, thank you for all your support. Without your commitment and dedication to the hockey program, our success wouldn't be possible. To the Lakeland Ice Hockey Association, thank you for all your hard work and dedication, and everything you do to raise the money that allows our hockey program to be able to give the players a first-class high school hockey experience. I would not be able to run the program at the level I see fit without the role you play in helping to support the program. And I am grateful for everything you contribute and all the time you put in. Thank you to Lindsay and Kara for doing the stats. You guys did a great job. Thank you to Ms. Murphy for being our official scorer, and to Mr. Thomas for doing crowd control at all our home games this season. And my personal bodyguard in the handshake line. Thank you to our bus drivers, Gina, Fred, and Brian, for always getting us everywhere on time and safely. And of course, to Uncle Eddie for doing a great job with the pictures to capture the moments. These kids and myself appreciate having that luxury of being able to look back at all these games that I just talked about. Thank you to all the parents for being such loyal supporters of the program this year. And thank you to all of you who helped set up special nights along the way, like Junior Lancer Night, Miss Salka Night, Senior Night, and critical events like the Tricky Tray. Congratulations to the JV team for having such a great season, for once again making us all so proud of you and the great run you went on to the championship game. What a night that was. Another great night. In front of one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen Lakeland bring to a hockey game, and rowdiest. And finally, to my departing seniors. I showed up here at Lakeland 4 years ago, and I never could have imagined that we would have formed the kind of bond that we did. Every time I think about the fact that I won't coach you again, it makes me really sad. And I can't imagine life without all you guys around. You're all I've ever known here at Lakeland. We've accomplished such great things together. 54, 18, and 7 over the last 3 seasons. Division title, 3 county titles, 4 consecutive trips to the state tournament, and 2 trips to the state quarterfinals as the 3 seed and the 6 seed, after never making it there in program history. What amazing careers when you really stop to think about it. Personally though, I want to say thank you for the impact you had on my life. You guys taught me so much as a coach these last 4 years, especially this last year and a half. You helped me grow up, you helped me mature, and all the time we spent together has helped shape the coach I am today. You guys had a lasting impact on me, and I'll never forget you. I'm so grateful to have gotten the opportunity to coach all of you, and tonight to call all of you my friends for life. I hope you all come back and stay a part of the Lakeland family, and I wish you all luck in whatever you decide to do in your future. I'm never going to forget the time we spent together. I'm going to miss you all so much. I love you guys, and I always will. I'm always here for you, and I'll always have your backs with anything you ever need. Don't hesitate to ask. Thanks again to everybody involved with this season. It's one that'll last a lifetime.